Edward Scissorhands on a 4K. I am trying to do these physical media reviews every week, but we'll see if I can maintain that. It is difficult because between the stuff I watch for other videos, adding another video on there is difficult. But this one I really did want to talk about. I've actually been doing a thing this month where I've been watching Tim Burton movies just because it is Halloween season, and my theater was showing Nightmare for Christmas in theaters in 3D, so I went to go check that out in 3D. And I can't remember what they did last year. I think last year they did, and I went to see it in 3D, but I don't remember. Either way, I use any excuse to go watch that movie in the theater. I love that movie. But then I was like, you know what, let me rewatch Frankenweenie. And then I was like, you know what, let me rewatch Corpse Bride. And I've been I did Sleepy Hollow. I did the Beetlejuice movies. Beetlejuice movies are totally my jam every Halloween anyway. So, I've just been kind of going down that rabbit hole with his movies. I think tomorrow I'm going to watch Sweeney Todd because I have a 4K Blu-ray of that I've not watched. So, I'm just in that rabbit hole. And then, this coming out just added on to that. And I did really want to talk about this movie because I've only seen this movie one time. And the reason I only saw this movie the one time is because I bawled my goddamn eyes out the first time I watched this movie. And every time I thought about putting it back on and rewatching it, I've just dreaded it. This time I didn't bawl my eyes out, but I did definitely cry. This is a beautiful movie. This movie is almost like a fever dream. We'll talk about 4K transfer and all that stuff in a minute, but I just want to talk about the movie first because I think that's the most important part of these physical media reviews. I think it gets really irritating when you're just like, here's the 4K transfer. Great. Let's talk about the movie. But this movie's like a fever dream where you really don't really know how to interpret it for some people in that regard because a lot of people really don't like this movie because of that. So it's either going to click with you or not. For me, it really clicks with me because the emotional pieces of the story are truly beautiful, which is the idea of this man who's just a broken machine, essentially, that was never finished by his creator. And, this is a very personal movie to Burton. And, and so you have this character who doesn't really fit in with anybody, but has a want to be artistic and create things. And it's a very interesting, way they show all this off in this movie. It's very powerful, very meaningful. And Danny Elfman's score is great. Johnny Depp is really great in this role. Ryder's really good in this role. And the set design and the costumes and makeup, all of it's just wonderful. It's just a great movie. So I almost think that this might be Tim Burton's best movie. I'm not certain. He has some really good ones I like. There's ones I think I like more, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Beetlejuice, and a couple other ones I like more. But I think in just being a complete vision and complete movie, I think this is probably his best one. So, but yeah, so there's the 4K. On the inside, let me take these discs out. I do have a complaint with this. Here's the inside. That's really neat. I actually don't, I'm going to be honest, I don't really love this steelbook. It looks good, but this is a really dark image. And if you watch the movie, it is not like that at all. I feel like there needed to be more color to it. I think you could have gone with, him trimming a hedge. Like, hedge right here, him trimming it on this side. I don't know. Something that I think better represents the movie. I just don't think this is the best artwork they could have gone with. And I feel like that is something we need to complain about because if they're going to charge $40 for these steelbooks, and not offer a cheaper option with the slip, we should start complaining that, hey, what the fuck, guys? You're not giving us the best artwork we could. but here's the 4K disc. I like the artwork on the 4K disc. The Blu-ray disc is what I'm really starting to get a little peeved about these releases. So these releases are coming out now with Blu-ray versions, but the Blu-ray versions are just reprints of the original Blu-ray disc. Now, why this bothers me is a lot of studios do this. That if they're going to reprint a movie and do it in 4K, they also put a new Blu-ray disc. Why? Because when you do a remaster of the movie, even the Blu-ray is going to look better. And so I know the idea is that you're only going to watch the 4K, but it feels like why even include the Blu-ray at that point if you're not going to go through the work of reprinting it as a slight upgrade, right? And again, these little details do matter because these are not cheap releases. So I feel like if they're going to charge us extra money for stuff, you should care about the little details, and I do. And it's not a big grievance, but it bothers me. How's the 4K transfer look though? It looks amazing. I mean, I think this is the best the movie's ever looked. This movie's a visual feast to the eyes anyways, so just that extra clean it up to everything. I think the Blu-ray came out, I forget what year the Blu-ray came out, but it was a long time ago. It was one of the early Blu-rays. And then, they reprinted a version for the 25th anniversary, which was not a new Blu-ray scan from what I remember, so this is like a whole remastered cleanup to this movie that looks fantastic, and for a movie that is fantastic. So definitely check this one out. It's a great release. I don't know how available this one is. We did keep complaining about these Disney 4K things that they're not available. This one seemed to be in stock almost all the time. So if it's not in stock right now, give it a little bit. It'll go back in stock because this isn't like the Tron ones or a couple other ones. Hopefully next week I can talk about Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm going to try and watch this one tomorrow for that video. I don't know what's taking me so long to pop this one in, but it just has. So let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.